Glenn Headley plays Blanche. Amy Brenneman, Stella, her sister. Music by John Roby. The action of the play takes place shortly after the end of World War II and around a shabby two-story building in the corner of Elysian Fields in New Orleans. Throughout the play, blues music drifting across from the nearby French Quarter is intermixed with the sounds of trains passing on the nearby railroad tracks. A streetcar named
Desire.
She says St. Barnabas would send out his dog to lick her. And when he did, she'd feel an icy cold wave all up and down her. Well, that night when...
Keep right on going. You find it. You hear them tapping on the shutter.
Where's the four deuces?
Red hot. Red hot.
Don't waste your money in that clip joint.
I got a date there.
Red hot.
Don't let them sell you a Blue Moon cocktail, or you won't go out on your own feet.
Well, what did he say?
He said he'd give us even money.
No, we gotta have odds. Hey there, Stella, baby.
Don't holler at me like that, Stanley. Hey, Mitch.
Hello?
Catch!
What?
Me!
Stanley, where you going?
Bowling.
Can I come watch?
Come on.
Coming. Hey there, Eunice, how are you?
I'm all right. Tell Steve to get him a po' boy sandwich, because nothing's left here.
What was that package he threw at us?
Hush now.
Catch what?
What's the matter, honey? You lost?
They told me to take a streetcar named Desire and then transfer to one called Cemeteries and ride 6 blocks and get off at Elysian Fields.
That's where you're at now.
At Elysian Fields?
This here's Elysian Fields.
They mustn't understood what number I wanted.
What number you looking for?
632.
You don't have to look no further.
I'm looking for my sister, Stella DuBois. I mean, Mrs. Stanley Kowalski.
That's the party. You just did miss her, though.
This? Can this be her home?
She got the downstairs here, and I got the up.
Oh, she's out?
You notice that bowling alley around the corner?
I'm not sure I
Well,
did.
that's where she's at, watching her husband bowl. You want to leave your suitcase here and go find her?
No.
I'll go tell her you come.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
She wasn't expecting you?
No, not tonight.
Well, why don't you just go in and make yourself at home till they get back?
How could I do that?
We own this place, so I can let you in.
Oh.
Sort of messed up right now, but when it's clean, it's real sweet.
Is it?
Uh-huh, I think so. So you're still a sister?
Yes. Thanks for letting me in.
Por nada, as the Mexicans say, por nada. Stella spoke of you.
Yes.
I think she said you taught school.
Yes.
You're from Mississippi, huh?
Well, Reed.
Great big place with white columns?
Yes.
Place like that must be awful hard to keep up.
If you'll excuse me, I'm just about to drop.
Sure, honey. Why don't you sit down?
What I meant was I'd like to be left alone.
Oh, I'll make myself scarce in that case.
I didn't mean to be rude.
I'll drop by the bowling alley. Hustle her up.
Oh. I've got to keep hold of myself.
Blanche?
Stella, oh, Stella, Stella. Stella for star. Now then, let me look at you. But don't you look at me, Stella. No, not till later, not till I've bathed and rested. And turn that overlight off. Turn it off. I won't be looked at in this merciless glare. Come back here now. Oh, my baby. Stella for star. Star. I thought you would never come back to this horrible place. What am I saying? I didn't mean to say that. I meant to be nice about it and say, oh, what a convenient location and such. Precious lamb, you haven't said a word to me.
You haven't given me a chance to, honey.
Well, now you talk. Open your pretty mouth and talk while I look around for some liquor. I know you must have some liquor on the place. Where could it be, I wonder? Oh, I spy.
Oh, Blanche, you sit down and let me pour the drinks. I don't know what we've got to mix with. Maybe a Coke's in the icebox. Look and see, honey.
No Coke, honey. Not with my nerves tonight. Where is,
Stanley? Bowling. He loves it. They having a... Oh, found some soda.
Just water, baby, to chase it. Now, don't get worried. Your sister hasn't turned into a drunkard. She's just all shaken up and hot and tired and dirty. You sit down now and explain this place to me. What are you doing in a place like this?
Now, Blanche.
I'm not going to be hypocritical. I'm going to be honestly critical about it. Never in my worst dreams could I picture only Poe. Only Mr. Edgar Allan Poe could do it justice. Out there, I suppose, is the ghoul-haunted woodland of Weir.
No, honey, those are the L&N tracks.
No, now, seriously, putting joking aside, why didn't you tell me? Why didn't you write me, honey? Why didn't you let me know?
Tell you what, Blanche?
Well, that you had to live in these conditions.
Aren't you being a little intense about it? It's not that bad at all. New Orleans isn't like other cities.
Oh, this has got nothing to do with New Orleans. You might as well say... Forgive me, blessed baby. The subject is closed.
Thanks.
You're all I've got in the world, and you're not glad to see me.
Ah, Blanche, you know that's not true.
No? I'd forgotten how quiet you were.
You never did give me a chance to say much, Blanche, so I just got in the habit of being quiet around you.
A good habit to get into. You haven't asked me how I managed to get away from the school before the spring term ended.
Well, I thought you'd volunteer that information if you wanted to tell me.
But you thought I'd been fired?
No, I thought you might have resigned.
I was so exhausted by all I'd been through, my nerves broke. I was on the verge of lunacy almost. So Mr. Graves is a high school superintendent. He suggested I take a leave of absence. I couldn't put all those details into a wire. This buzzes right through me and feels so good.
Won't you have another?
No. One's my limit.
Sure.
You haven't said a word about my appearance.
Well, you look just fine.
Oh, God love you for the liar. Daylight never exposed so total a ruin. But you've put on some weight. Yes, you're just as plump as a little partridge. And your hair, you ought to have it cut into a little feather bob with your dainty features, Stella. You have a maid, don't you?
No, with only 2 rooms, it's...
What? 2 rooms, did you say?
This one and...
The other one? How quiet you are. You're so peaceful. Look how you sit there with your little hands folded like a cherubim choir.
I never had anything like your energy, Blanche.
Only 2 rooms.
And a bathroom?
Oh, you do have a bathroom. First door to the right at the top of the stairs. Well, Stella, I don't see where you're going to put me.
We're going to put you in here.
But there's no door between the 2 rooms, and Stanley would... Will it be decent?
Stanley's Polish, you know.
Oh, yes, they're something like Irish, aren't they?
Well...
Only not so highbrow. Well, anyhow, I brought nice clothes, and I'll wear them. I guess you're hoping I'll say I'll put up at a hotel, but I'm not going to put up at a hotel. I want to be near you. Got to be with somebody. I can't be alone, because as you must have noticed, I'm not very well.
You seem a little bit nervous or overwrought or something.
Will Stanley lock me, or will I just be a visiting in-laws, Stella? I couldn't stand
Oh, you
that.
get along fine together. If you'll just try not to, well, compare him with men that we went out with at home.
Is it so different?
Yes, different species.
In what way? What's he like?
Oh, you can't describe someone you're in love with. Here's a picture of him.
An officer?
A master sergeant in the engineer corps. Those are decorations.
He had those on when you met him?
I assure you I wasn't just blind to buy all the brass.
That's not what I meant.
But of course there were things to adjust myself to later on.
Such as his civilian background. How did he take it when you said I was coming?
Oh, Stanley doesn't know yet.
You haven't told him?
Well, he's on the road a good deal.
Oh, travels?
Yes.
Good. I mean, isn't it?
I can hardly stand it when he's away for a night.
Why, Stella?
When he's away for a week, I nearly go wild.
Gracious.
And when he comes back, I cry on his lap like a little baby.
Well, I guess that is what is meant by being in love. Stella.
What?
I haven't asked you the things you probably thought I was going to ask, and so I'll expect you to be understanding about what I have to tell you.
What, Blanche?
Well, Stella, you're going to reproach me. I know that you're bound to reproach me, but before you do, take into consideration you left. I stayed and struggled. You came to New Orleans and looked out for yourself. I stayed at Belle Reve and tried to hold it together. I'm not meaning this in any reproachful way, but all the burden descended on my shoulders.
The best I could do is make my own living, Blanche.
I know, but you are the one that abandoned Belle Reve, not I. I stayed and fought for it, bled for it, almost
Stop
died
this
for
hysterical
it.
outburst and tell me what's happened. What do you mean fought and bled? What kind
I knew you would, Stella. I knew you would take this attitude about it.
About what? Please.
The loss. The loss.
Belle Reve? Lost, is it? No.
Yes, Stella.
But how did it go? What happened?
You're a fine one to ask me how it went.
Blanche.
You're a fine one to sit there accusing me of it.
Blanche!
I took the blows in my face and my body, all of those deaths. The long parade to the graveyard, father, mother, Margaret, that dreadful way. So big with it couldn't be put in a coffin, but had to be burned like rubbish. You just came home in time for the funeral, Stella, and funerals are pretty compared to deaths. Funerals are quiet, but deaths, not always. Sometimes their breathing is hoarse, and sometimes it rattles, and sometimes they even cry out to you, "Don't let me go." Even the old sometimes say, "Don't let me go," as if you were able to stop them. But funerals are quiet with pretty flowers and, oh, what gorgeous boxes they packed them away in. Unless you were there at the bed when they cried out, "Hold me," you'd never suspect there was the struggle for breath and bleeding. You didn't dream, but I saw. And now you sit there telling me with your eyes that I let the place go. How in hell do you think all that sickness and dying was paid for? Death is expensive, Miss Stella. Honey, that's how it slipped through my fingers. Which of them left us a fortune? Which of them left us Senate insurance even? Only poor Jessie $100 to pay for her coffin. Yes, accuse me. Sit there and stare at me thinking I let the place go. I let the place go. Where were you? In bed with your pole out.
Blanche! You be still. That's enough.
Where are you going?
I'm going into the bathroom to wash my face.
Stella. Stella, you're crying.
Does that surprise you?
Mitch, we'll play at my place. Well, you bring the beer.
You must be Stanley. I'm Blanche.
Stella's sister.
Yes.
Hello. Where's the little woman?
In the bathroom.
Oh. Didn't know you were coming in town.
Where
are you from, Blanche?
Why, I live in Laurel.
In Law, huh? Oh, yeah, in Law, that's right. Not in my territory. The liquor goes fast in hot weather. Have a shot?
No, I rarely touch it.
Some people rarely touch it, but it touches them often. My clothes are sticking to me. Do you mind if I make myself comfortable? Take off my shirt?
Please Please do.
And be comfortable is my motto.
It's mine, too. It's hard to stay looking fresh. I haven't even washed or powdered my face, and here you are.
You know, you can catch a cold sitting around the damn thing, especially when you've been exercising hard like Bowen is. You're a teacher, aren't you?
Yes.
What do you teach, Blanche?
English.
Well, I never was a very good English student. How long you here for, Blanche?
I don't know yet.
You gonna shack up here?
Well, I thought I would if it's not inconvenient for you all.
Good.
Traveling wears me out.
Well, take it easy.
What's that?
Cats. Hey, Stella!
Yes, Stanley?
Haven't fallen in, have you? I'm afraid I'll strike you as being the unrefined type. Stella spoke of you a good deal. You were married once, weren't you?
Yes. When I was quite young.
What happened?
The boy died. Oh, I'm afraid I'm going to be sick.
What's all this monkey doing?
Oh, Stan. I'm taking Blanche to supper, Galatoir, and then to a show 'cause it's your poker night.
Now, how about my supper, huh? I'm not going to no Galatoirs for supper.
I'll put you a cold plate on ice.
Oh, isn't that just dandy?
I'm going to try to keep Blanche out till your poker party breaks up because I don't know how she would take it. So we'll go to one of those little places in the court afterwards, and you'd better give me some money.
Wish?
She's soaking in a hot tub to quiet her nerves. She's terribly upset.
Over what?
She's been through such an ordeal.
Yeah.
Stan, we've lost Belle Reeve.
But the place in the country?
Yes.
How?
Oh, it had to be sacrificed or something. When she comes in, be sure to say something nice about her appearance. And don't mention the baby. I haven't said anything yet. I'm waiting until she gets into a quieter condition.
So...
And try to understand her and be nice to her, Stan. She wasn't expecting to find us in such a small place. You see, I tried to gloss things over a little in my letters.
So...
And admire her dress and tell her she's looking wonderful. That's important with Blanche, her little weakness.
Yeah, I get the idea. Now, let's get back a little. You said the country place was disposed of?
Oh, yes.
Well, how about that? Let's have a few more details on that subject. Let's have a gander at the bill of sale.
Well, I haven't seen any.
Well, she didn't show you no papers, no deed of sale, nothing like that, huh?
It seems like it wasn't sold.
Well, what in the hell was it then? Given away? To charity?
She'll hear you.
I don't care if she can hear me. Let's see the papers.
There weren't any papers. She didn't show any papers. I don't care about papers.
Have you ever heard of the Napoleonic Code?
No, Stanley, I haven't heard of the Napoleonic Code, and if I have, I don't see what it...
Well, let me enlighten you on a point or two, baby.
Yes?
In the state of Louisiana, we have the Napoleonic Code, according to which what belongs to the wife belongs to the husband and vice versa. For instance, if I had a piece of property or you had a piece of property...
My head is swimming.
All right. I'll wait till she gets through soaking in the hot tub, and then I'll inquire if she's acquainted with the Napoleonic Code. Looks to me like you've been swindled, baby. And when you're swindled under the Napoleonic Code, I'm swindled too. And I don't like to be swindled.
There's plenty of time to ask her questions later, but if you do now, she'll go to pieces again. I don't understand what happened to Belle Reeve, but you don't know how ridiculous you are being when you suggest that my sister or I or any one of our family could have perpetrated a swindle on anyone else.
Then where's the money if the place was sold?
Not sold. Lost.
Huh.
Lost. Stanley, where are you going? That's her.
Open your eyes to this stuff. You think she got them out of a teacher's pay?
Hush.
Look at these feathers and furs that she come here to preen herself in. What is this here? A solid gold dress, I believe. Oh, and what are these? Here, fox pieces? Where are your white fox pieces?
Those are inexpensive summer furs that Blanche has had a long time.
And what have we here? The treasure chest of a pirate.
Oh, Stanley.
Pearls, ropes of them. What is this sister of yours, a deep-sea diver who brings in up sunken treasures? Or she's some champion safecracker of all time? Bracelets of solid gold, too. Where are your pearls and gold bracelets?
Shh, be still, Stanley.
And diamonds. A crown for an empress.
A rhinestone tiara she wore to a costume ball.
What's rhinestone?
Next door to class.
Are you kidding? I have an acquaintance who works in a jewelry store. I'll have him here to make an appraisal of this. Here's your plantation, or what was left of it. Here.
You have no idea how stupid and horrid you're being. Now close that trunk before she comes out of the bathroom.
The Kowalskis and the DuBois have different notions.
Indeed they have. Thank goodness. I'm going outside. You come out with me while Blanche is getting dressed.
Since when do you give me orders?
Are you going to stay here and insult her?
And damn tootin' I'm gonna stay here.
Hello, Stanley. Here I am, all freshly bathed and scented and feeling like a brand new human being.
That's good.
Excuse me while I go in my room and slip on my pretty new dress.
You can go right ahead, Blanche.
I understand there's to be a little card party to which we ladies are cordially not invited.
Yeah?
Where is Stella?
Out on the porch.
I'm going to ask a favor of you in a moment.
What could that be, I wonder?
Some buttons in back. You may enter. How do I look?
You look all right?
Many thanks. Now the buttons.
No, I can't do nothing with them.
You men with your big clumsy fingers. May I have a drag on your seat?
I have one for yourself.
Why, thanks. It looks like my trunk has exploded.
Well, me and Stella were helping you unpack.
Well, you certainly did a fast and thorough job of it.
It looks like you raided some stylish shops in Paris.
Yes, clothes are my passion.
Well, what does it cost for a string of fur pieces like this?
Why, those were a tribute from an admirer of mine.
Well, he must have had a lot of admiration.
Oh, in my youth I excited some admiration, but look at me now. Would you think it possible that I was once considered to be attractive?
You look so okay.
I was fishing for a compliment, Stanley.
Well, I don't go in for that stuff.
What stuff?
Compliments to women about their looks. Some men took in by this Hollywood glamour stuff, and some men are not.
I'm sure you belong to the second category.
That's right.
You're simple, straightforward, and honest. A little bit on the primitive side, I should think. To interest you, a woman would have to
lay her cards on the table?
Yes, cards on the table. Well, life is too full of evasions and ambiguities, I think. I like an artist who paints in strong, bold colors, primary colors. I don't like pinks and creams, and I never cared for wishy-washy people. That was why when you walked in here last night, I said to myself, my sister has married a man. Of course, that was all I could tell about you.
Now let's cut the rebop.
Ow!
Stanley, you come out here and let Blanche finish dressing.
I'm through dressing, honey.
Well, you come out here then.
Well, your sister and I are having a little talk.
Honey, do me a favor. Run to the drugstore and get me a lemon Coke with plenty of chipped ice in it. Will you do that for me, sweetie?
Yes.
The poor thing was out there listening to us, and I have an idea she doesn't understand you as well as I do. All right now, Mr. Kowalski. Let us proceed without any more double talk. I'm ready to answer all questions. I've nothing to hide. What is it?
There is such a thing in the state of Louisiana as the Napoleonic Code, according to which whatever belongs to my wife is also mine, and vice versa.
My, but you have an impressive judicial air. Here. Oh!
If I didn't know that you was my wife's sister, I'd get ideas about you.
Such as what?
Don't play dumb. You know what. Where's the papers?
Papers?
Papers, the stuff people write on.
Oh, papers. Oh, the first anniversary gift, all kinds of
I'm
papers.
talking illegal papers, connected with the plantation.
There were some papers.
You mean they're no longer existent?
There probably are somewhere.
But not in the trunk.
Everything that I own is in that trunk.
Well, then why don't we have a look for them?
What in the name of heaven are you thinking of? What's in the back of that little boy's mind of yours? That I'm absconding with something, attempting some kind of treachery on my sister? Let me do that. It would be faster and simpler. I keep my papers mostly in this tin box.
What's them underneath?
These are love letters, yellowing with antiquity. All from one boy. Give them back to me.
I'll have a look at them first.
The touch of your hands insults them.
Don't pull that stuff.
Now that you've touched them, I'll burn them.
What in the hell are they?
Poems a dead boy wrote. I hurt him the way that you would like to hurt me, but you can't. I'm not young and vulnerable anymore, but my young husband was, and I... Never mind about that. Just give them back to me.
What do you mean by saying you'll have to burn them?
I'm sorry, I must have lost my head for a moment. Everyone has something he won't let others touch because of their intimate nature. Now, where's my glasses? Here they are. Ambler and Ambler. Crabtree, more Ambler.
What is Ambler and Ambler?
That's a firm that made loans on the place.
Then it was lost on a mortgage?
That must have been what happened.
Well, I don't want no ifs, ands, or buts. What's all the rest of them papers?
Why don't you look? There are thousands of papers stretching back over hundreds of years, affecting Belle Reeve as piece by piece our improvident grandfathers and father and uncles and brothers exchanged the land for their epic fornications, to put it plainly. Till finally all that was left, and Stella can verify that, was the house itself and about 20 acres of ground, including a graveyard, to which now all but Stella and I have retreated. Here all of them are, all papers. I hereby endow you with them. Take them, peruse them, commit them to memory even. I think it's wonderfully fitting that Belle Reeve should finally be this bunch of old papers in your big capable hands. I wonder if Stella's come back with my lemon coat.
I have a lawyer acquaintance who'll study these out.
We'll present them to him with a bottle of aspirin.
You see, under the Napoleonic Code, a man has to take an interest in his wife's affairs, especially now that she's going to have a baby. I'll just take these in the bedroom, look them over.
Stella? Stella gonna have a baby? I didn't know she was gonna have a baby. Stella for Star, how lovely to have a baby. Everything's all right. We thrashed it out. I feel a bit shaky, but I think I handled it nicely. I laughed and treated it all as a joke. Called him a little boy and laughed and flirted. Yes, I was flirting with your husband, Stella.
I'm sorry I did that to you.
Well, he's just not the sort that goes for jasmine perfume. But maybe he's what we need to mix with our blood now that we've lost Belle Reeve and have to go on without Belle Reeve to protect us. How pretty the sky is. I ought to go there on a rocket that never comes down.
Red hot, red hot.
Which way do we go now, Stella? The blind are leading the blind.
Anything wild as deal?
One-eyed Jack's a wild.
Give me 2 cards.
You, Mitch?
I'm out.
1.
Anyone want a shot?
Oh, yeah, me.
Why don't somebody go to the Chinaman's and bring back a load of chop suey?
No, I'm losing. You want me to eat. Ante up. Openers? Openers. Get off the table, Mitch. Nothing belongs on a poker table but cards, chips, and whiskey.
Kind of on your high horse, ain't you?
How many?
Give me 3.
1.
I'm out again. I ought to go home pretty soon.
Shut up.
I got a sick mother. She don't go to sleep till I come in at night.
Well, why don't you stay home with her?
She says to go out, so I go, but I don't enjoy it. All the while, I keep wondering how she is.
Oh, for God's sake, go home then.
What you got, Steve?
Speed flush.
You all are married, but I'll be all alone when she goes. I'm going to the bathroom.
Hey, hurry back. We'll fix you a sugar tip.
I'll lay off.
Hey. Okay, 7 cards stud. Now, this old nigga is out back of his house, setting down throwing corn to the chickens, and all at once he hears a loud cackle, and this young hen come lickety-split around the side of the house with the rooster right behind her and gaining on her fast.
Deal?
But when the rooster catches sight of the nigger throwing the cone, he puts on the brakes and lets the hen get away and starts pecking the cone. And the old nigger, he says, Lord God, I hope I never gets that hungry.
Well, I see you boys are still at
Hey,
it.
Stella.
Where you been?
Blanche and I taking a show. Blanche, this is Mr. Gonzalez and Mr. Hubble.
Please don't get up.
Nobody's gonna get up, so don't be worried.
How much longer is this game going to continue?
Till we get ready to quit.
Poke is so fascinating. Could I kiss?
You could not. Oh, why don't you women go up and sit with Eunice?
Because it is nearly 2:30. Couldn't you call it quits after one more hand? Don't do that. That's not fun, Stanley. It makes me so mad when it does that in front of people.
I think I will bathe.
Again?
My nerves are in knots. Is the bathroom occupied?
I don't know.
Oh. Good evening.
Oh, Blanche, this is Harold Mitchell, my sister, Blanche DuBois.
How do you do, Miss DuBois?
How is your mother now, Mitch?
About the same, thanks. She appreciated your sending over that custard.
Oh.
Excuse me, please.
About time, Mitch.
That one seems superior to the others.
Oh, yes, he is.
I thought he had a sort of sensitive look.
His mother's sick.
Is he married?
No.
Is he wolf?
Well, Blanche. I don't think he would be.
What does he do?
He's on the precision bench of the spare parts department at the plant Stanley travels for.
Is that something much?
No. Stanley's the only one of his crowd that's likely to get anywhere.
What makes you think Stanley will?
Look at him.
Well, I've looked at him.
Then you should know.
Well, I'm sorry, but I haven't noticed the stamp of genius even on Stanley's forehead.
It isn't on his forehead, and it isn't genius.
Oh, well, what is it and where? I'd like to know.
It's a drive that he has. You're standing in the light, Blanche. The boys can see right through the drapes, and you're in your...
Oh, am I?
You ought to see their wives.
I can imagine big beefy things, I suppose.
You know that one upstairs? One time, the plaster cracked.
You had that conversation in there.
You can't hear us.
Well, you can hear me, and I said to hush up.
This is my house, and I'll talk as much as I want to. Stella, don't start a row.
He's half drunk. I'll be out in a minute.
All right, Mitch, you in?
No, I'm out.
Well, who turned that on in there?
I did, do you mind?
Turn it off.
I'll let the girls have their music.
Sure, that's good. Leave it on.
Sounds like Xavier Cugat.
I said, turn it off. Uh-huh.
I didn't hear you, Kay. Name it.
Didn't I name it, Mitch?
I wasn't listening.
What were you doing then?
He's looking through them drapes at her. Now, give your hand over again. Let's play cards or quit. Some people get ants when they win. Sit down, Mitch.
I'm going to the head. Feel me out.
Oh, please.
All right. This game is spit in the ocean. Were you asking me something?
Hello. Little boy's room is busy right now.
We've been drinking beer.
I hate beer.
It's a hot weather drink.
Oh, I don't think so. It always makes me warmer. Have you got any 6?
Sure.
What kind are they?
Lucky's?
Oh, good. What a pretty case. Silver?
Yes. Yes. Read the inscription.
Is there an inscription? I can't make it out. Oh. And if God choose, I shall but love thee better after death. Why, that's from my favorite sonnet by Mrs. Browning.
You know it.
Certainly I do.
There's a story connected behind that inscription.
Well, it sounds like a romance.
Pretty sad one.
Oh?
The girl's dead now.
Oh.
She knew she was dying when she gave me this. Very strange girl, very sweet, very...
She must have been fond of you. 6 people have such deep, sincere attachments.
That's right. They certainly do.
Sorrow makes for sincerity, I think.
It sure brings it out in people.
The little there is belongs to people who have experienced great sorrow.
I believe you're right about that.
I'm positive that I am. Show me a person who hasn't known any sorrow, and I'll show you a superficial... Listen to me. My tongue is a little thick. You boys are responsible for it. The show let out at 11. We couldn't come on home kind of at the poker game, so we had to go somewhere and drink. I'm not accustomed to having more than 1 drink. 2's the limit, and 3. Tonight I had 3.
Mitch, deal me out. I'm talking to Miss...
DuBois.
Miss DuBois?
It's a French name. It means woods, and Blanche means white, so the 2 together mean white woods. Like an orchard in spring. You can remember it by that.
You're French?
We are French by extraction. Our first American ancestors were French Huguenots.
You are Stella's sister, are you not?
Yes, Stella's my precious little sister. I call her little in spite of the fact she's somewhat older than I. Just slightly. Less than a year. Will you do something for me?
Sure. What?
I bought this adorable little colored papered lantern at a Chinese shop on Bourbon. Put it over the light bulb, will you please?
Be glad to.
I can't stand a naked light bulb any more than I can a rude remark or a vulgar action.
I guess we strike you as being a pretty rough bunch.
I'm very adaptable to circumstances.
Well, that's a good thing to be. You are visiting Stanley and Stella?
Stella hasn't been so well lately, and I came down to help her for a while. She's very run down.
You're not
married? No. No, I'm an old maid school teacher.
You may teach school, but you're certainly not an old maid.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate your gallantry.
So you're in the teaching profession?
Yes, yes.
Grade school or high school or... Mitch! Coming!
Gracious, what lung power. I teach high school in Laurel.
What do you teach? What subject?
Yes.
Yeah, I bet you teach art or music. Of course, I could be wrong. And you might teach arithmetic.
Never arithmetic, sir. Never arithmetic. I don't even know my multiplication tables. No. I have the misfortune of being an English instructor. I attempt to instill a bunch of Bobby Soxers and drugstore Romeos with reverence for Hawthorne and Whitman and Poe.
I guess that some of them are more interested in other things.
How very right you are. Their literary heritage is not what most of them treasure above all else, but they're sweet things. And in the spring, it's touching to notice them making their first discovery of love, as if nobody had ever known it before. Oh, have you finished, Stella?
Yes.
Wait, I'll turn on the radio. Oh, dance with me, Mitch. Come on.
Well, I'll be delighted.
Oh, great. Stanley.
Damn it!
Drunk animal thing, you. All of you, please go home. If any of you have one spark of decency left in you.
Stella, watch out. He's coming for you.
Stanley, take it easy now. Calm down, Stanley.
My sister's gonna have a baby. Lunacy, absolute lunacy, my gracious.
I want to go away. I want to go away.
Poker shouldn't be played in a house with women.
Don't go to that woman's upstairs. Stella, precious dear little sister, don't be afraid.
What's the matter? What happened?
You just blew your top, Stan.
He's okay now. Sure, my boy's okay.
I want water.
Put him under the shower.
Please, Stanley. Come on. Come on.
sons of bitches! Yeah!
Oh, come on, let's get out of here quick. I left our winnings. Poker should not be played in a house with women.
Stella! My baby doll's left me. Eunice, I want my baby. Eunice, I'll keep on ringing until I talk with my baby.
What do you think you're doing, you stupid luck? You can't beat on a woman and then call her back. What you thinking? You don't got a brain in your head. No.
Stella. Stella, sweetheart. Stella. Stella.
Quit that howling out there and go back to bed.
I want my baby down here. Stella. Stella.
Coming down, so you quit or you get the law on you.
Stella.
You can't beat a woman and then call her back. She won't come, and her going to have a baby. You stinker, you whelp of a Pollock, you. I hope they do haul you in and turn the fire hose on you, same as the last time.
Eunice, I want my girl to come down with me.
Ha!
Where's my little sister? Stella? 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 Stella?
Mr. Boy,
Oh,
all quiet on the Potomac now?
she ran downstairs and went back in there with him.
Sure she did.
I'm terrified.
There's nothing to be scared of. They're crazy about each other.
I'm not used to such
Nah, it's a shame this had to happen when you just got here, but don't take it serious.
violence. So
Sit down on the steps and have a cigarette with me.
I'm not properly dressed.
Well, that don't make no difference in the quarter.
Such a pretty silver case.
I showed you the inscription, didn't I?
Yes. Oh, there's so much confusion in the world. Thank you for being so kind. I need kindness now. Stella? Baby, my baby sister.
Blanche, what is the matter with you?
He's left.
He's staying, yes.
Will he be back?
He's going to get the car greased. Why?
Well, I've been half crazy, Stella. When I found out you'd been insane enough to come back in here after what happened, I started to rush in after
I'm
you.
glad you didn't.
What were you thinking of? Answer me. What? What?
Please, Blanche, sit down and stop yelling.
All right, Stella, I will repeat the question quietly now. How could you come back in this place last night? Why, you must have slept with him.
Blanche, I've forgotten how excitable you are. You're making much too much fuss about this.
Am I?
Yes, you are, Blanche. I know how it must have seemed to you, and I'm awfully sorry it had to happen, but it wasn't anything as serious as you seem to take it. In the first place, when men are drinking and playing poker, anything can happen. It's always a powder keg. He didn't know what he was doing. He was as good as a lamb when I came back, and he's really very, very ashamed of himself.
And that makes it all right?
No, it isn't all right for anybody to make such a terrible row, but people do sometimes. Stanley's always smashed things. Why, on our wedding night, as soon as we came in here, he snatched off one of my slippers and rushed around the place, smashing the light bulbs with it.
He did what?
He smashed all the light bulbs with the heel of my slipper.
And you let him? Didn't run? Didn't scream?
I was sort of thrilled by it. He's taken the radio to get it fixed. It didn't land on the pavement, so only one tube was smashed.
And you are standing there smiling.
Well, what do you want me to do?
Pull yourself together and face the facts.
What are they, in your opinion?
In my opinion, you're married to a madman.
No.
Yes, you are. Your fix is worse than mine is. Only you're not being sensible about it. I'm going to do something. Get hold of myself and make myself a new life.
Yes?
But you've given in, and that isn't right. You're not old. You can get out.
I'm not in anything I want to get out of.
What?
I said I'm not in anything I have a desire to get out of.
We got to get hold of some money. That's the way out.
Yeah, I guess that money's always nice to get hold of.
Listen to me. I have an idea of some kind. You remember Shep Huntley?
No, Blanche.
Of course you remember Shep Huntley. I went out with him at college and wore his pin for a while.
Well?
You've heard of oil wells?
Yes, remotely.
Well, he has them all over Texas. Texas is literally spouting gold in his pockets.
Oh, my.
You know how indifferent I am to money. I think of money in terms of what it does for you, but he could do it. He could certainly do it.
Do what, Blanche?
Why, set us up in a shop.
What kind of shop?
Oh, a shop of some kind. He could do it with half of what his wife throws away at the races.
He's married.
Honey, would I be here if the man weren't married? Stella, I can't live with him. You can. He's your husband. But how could I stay here with him after last night with just those curtains between us?
Blanche, you saw him at his worst last night.
On the contrary, I saw him at his best. What such a man has to offer is animal force, and he gave a wonderful exhibition of that. But the only way to live with such a man is to go to bed with him, and that is your job, not mine.
After you've rested a little, you'll see it's going to work out. You don't have to worry about anything while you're here. I mean, expenses.
I have to plan for us both, to get us both out.
You take it for granted that I am in something that I want to get out of. But there are things that happen between a man and a woman in the dark that sort of make everything else seem unimportant.
What you are talking about is brutal desire. Just desire. The name of that rattle-trap streetcar that bangs through the quarter up one old narrow street and down another.
Haven't you ever ridden on that streetcar?
It brought me here, where I'm not wanted and where I'm ashamed to be.
Then don't you think your superior attitude is a bit out of place?
I'm not being or feeling at all superior, Stella. Believe me, I'm not. It's just this. This is how I look at it. A man like that is someone to go out with once, twice, 3 times when the devil is in you, but live with? Have a child by?
I have told you I love him.
Then I tremble for you. I just tremble for you.
Well, I can't help your trembling if you insist on trembling.
May I speak plainly?
Yes, do. Go ahead. As plainly as you want to.
Well, if you'll forgive me, he's coming.
Why, yes, I suppose he is.
Suppose? You can't have forgotten that much of our bringing up, Stella, that you just suppose any part of a gentleman, his nature. Not one particle, no. Oh, if he was just ordinary, just plain, but good and wholesome, but no. There's something downright bestial about him. You're hating me saying this, aren't you?
Go on and say it all, Blanche.
He acts like an animal, has an animal's habits, eats like one, moves like one, talks like one. There's even something subhuman, something not quite to the stage of humanity yet. Yes, something ape-like about him, like one of those pictures I've seen in anthropological studies. Thousands and thousands of years have passed him right by, and there he is, Stanley Kowalski, survivor of the Stone Age, bearing the raw meat home from the kill in the jungle, and you here waiting for him. Maybe he'll strike you, or maybe brunt and kiss you. That is, if kisses have been discovered yet. Night falls and the other apes gather. There's the front of the cave, all grunting like him and swilling and gnawing and hulking. His poker night, you call it, this party of apes. Somebody growls, some creature snatches at something. The fight is on. God! Maybe we are a long way from being made in God's image, but Stella, my sister, there has been some progress since then. Such things as art, as poetry and music, such things as new light have come into this world since then. And some kinds of people, some tenderer feelings have had some little beginning that we've got to make grow and cling to and hold as our flag in this dark march towards whatever it is we're approaching. Don't hang back with the brutes.
Hey, Stella.
Stanley.
Stella.
Hi, Blanche.
You must have got onto the car.
Hey, them doll mechanics and Fritzes, they don't know their camp from third base.
Stanley.
You watching, Blanche?
What are you laughing at, honey?
Myself for being such a liar. I'm writing a letter to Shep Huntley. Darling Shep, I'm spending the summer on the wing, making flying visits here and there, and who knows, perhaps I shall take a sudden notion to swoop down on Dallas. How would you feel about that? Forewarned is forearmed, as they say. How does that sound?
Uh-huh.
Most of my sister's friends go north in the summer, but some have homes on the Gulf, and there has been a continued round of entertainments, teas, cocktails, and luncheons.
Eunice seems to be having some trouble with Steve.
I heard about you and that blonde.
That's a damn lie.
You ain't pulling the wool over my eyes. I wouldn't mind if you'd stay down at the Four Deuces, but you always going up.
Who ever seen me go up?
I've seen you chasing around the balcony. I'm going to call the Vice Squad.
Don't you throw that at me.
You hit me. I'm going to call the police.
Did he kill her?
No, she's coming downstairs.
Call the police. I'm going to call the police.
Some of your sister's friends have stayed in the city.
What's the matter with you?
She and Steve had a row. Has she got the police?
No, she's getting a drink.
Well, that's much more practical.
She here?
No, at the Four Deuces.
That hunk.
Hunk. I must jot that down in my notebook. I'm compiling a notebook of quaint little words and phrases I've picked up here.
You won't pick up nothing here you ain't heard before.
Can I count on that?
You can count on it up to 500.
That's a mighty high number. Oh, what sign were you born under?
Sign?
Astrological sign. I bet you were born under Aries. Aries people are forceful and dynamic. They dote on noise. They love to bang things around. You must have had a lot of banging around in the army, and now that you're out, you make up for it by treating inanimate objects with such a fury.
Stanley was born just 5 minutes after Christmas.
Capricorn, the goat.
And what sign were you born under?
Oh, my birthday's next month, the 15th of September. That's under Virgo.
What's Virgo?
Virgo is the virgin.
Say, do you happen to know somebody named Shaw?
Why, everybody knows somebody named Shaw.
Well, there's somebody named Shaw. I was under the impression he met you in Lowell. But I figure he must have got you mixed up with some other party, because this other party is someone he met at a hotel called the Flamingo.
Well, I'm afraid he does have me mixed up with this other party. The Hotel Flamingo is not the sort of establishment I would dare to be seen in.
You know of it.
Yes, I've seen it and smelled it.
Well, you must have got pretty close if you could smell it.
The odor of cheap perfume is penetrating.
Well, that stuff you use is expensive.
$25 an ounce. I'm nearly out. That's just a hint if you want to remember my birthday.
Well, Shaw must have got you mixed up. He goes in and out of law all the time, so he can check on it and clear up any mistake. Stella?
Mm-hmm.
I'll wait for you at the Four Deuces.
Hey, don't I rate one kiss?
Not in front of your sister.
Stella, what have you heard about me? Huh? What have people been telling you about me? You haven't heard any unkind gossip about me?
Why, no, Blanche, of course not.
Honey, there was a good deal of talking, Laurel.
About you, Blanche?
I wasn't so good the last 2 years or so after Belle Reve had started to slip through my fingers.
All of us do things.
I never was hard or self-sufficient enough. When people are soft people have got to court the favor of hard ones, Stella. Have got to be seductive. Put on soft colors, the colors of butterfly wings, and glow. Make a little temporary magic just in order to pay for one night's shelter. That's why I've been not so awfully good lately. I've run for protection, Stella, from under one leaky roof to another leaky roof because it was storm, all storm, and I was caught in the center. People don't see you. Men don't even admit your existence unless they're making love to you, and you've got to have your existence admitted by someone if you're going to have someone's protection. And so the soft people have got to shimmer and glow, put a paper lantern over the light. But I'm scared now. Awfully scared. I don't know how much longer I can turn the trick. It isn't enough to be soft. You've got to be soft and attractive. And I'm fading now. Have you been listening to me?
I don't listen to you when you're being morbid.
Is that Coke for me?
Not for anyone else.
Why, you precious thing, you. Is it just a Coke?
You mean you want a shot at it?
Well, honey, a shot never does a Coke any harm. Let me. You mustn't wait on me.
Well, I like to wait on you, Blanche. It makes it seem more like home.
I have to admit I love to be waited on. You're so good to me, and I'm...
Blanche.
I won't. I promise I'll go soon. I will really. I won't hang around until he throws
now, will you
me
stop
out.
talking foolish?
Yes, honey, watch how you pour. That fizzy stuff foams over.
Heavens.
Right on my pretty white skirt.
Oh, use my hanky. Come on, blot gently.
I know. Gently, gently.
Did it stain?
Not a bit. Isn't that lucky?
Why did you scream like that?
I don't know why I screamed. Mitch is coming at 7. I guess I'm just feeling nervous about our relations. He hasn't gotten a thing but a goodnight kiss. That's all I've given him, Stella. I want his respect, and men don't want anything. They get too easy. But on the other hand, men lose interest quickly, especially when the girl is over 30. They think a girl over 30 ought to be, the vulgar term is put out, and I'm not putting out. Of course, he doesn't know. I mean, I haven't informed him of my real age.
Why are you sensitive about your age?
Because of hard knocks my vanity's been given. What I mean is, he thinks I'm sort of prim and proper, you know. I want to deceive him enough to make him want me.
Blanche, do you want him?
I want to rest. I want to breathe quietly again. Yes, I want Mitch very badly. Just think if it happens, I can leave here and not be anyone's problem.
Hey, Stella! Come and join Steve and Eunice!
It will happen.
It will?
It will. It will, honey. It will. But don't take another drink. Okay.
Hey, baby.
Come in. Well, what can I do for you?
I'm collecting for the Evening Star.
I didn't know that stars took up collections.
It's the paper.
I know I was joking feebly. Will you have a drink?
No, ma'am. No, thank you. I can't drink on the job.
Oh, well, now let's see. No, I don't have a dime. I'm not the lady of the house. I'm her sister from Mississippi. I'm one of those poor relations you've heard about.
That's all right. I'll drop by later.
Hey! What time is it?
7:15.
So late? Don't you just love these long, rainy afternoons in New Orleans when an hour isn't just an hour, but a little bit of eternity dropped in your hands and who knows what to do with it?
Yes, ma'am.
You, didn't get wet in the shower?
No, ma'am. I stepped inside.
In a drugstore and had a soda?
Uh-huh.
Chocolate?
No, ma'am. Cherry.
Mmm.
A cherry soda.
You make my mouth water.
Well, I'd better be.
Young man. Young man. Has anyone ever told you that you look like a young prince out of the Arabian Nights?
No, ma'am.
Well, you do, honey lamb. Come here. Come on over here like I told you. I want to kiss you, just once, softly and sweetly on your mouth. Run along now. It would be nice to keep you, but I've got to be good and keep my hands off children.
Huh?
Adios. Look who's coming. My rose and cavalier. Bow to me first, then present your bouquet. Ah, merci.
I guess it must be pretty late, and you're tired.
Even the hot tamale man has deserted the street, and he hangs on till the end.
I'm afraid you haven't got much fun out of this evening, Blanche.
Oh, I like amusement parks, but I spoiled it for you.
No, you didn't, but I felt all the time that I wasn't giving you much entertainment.
I simply couldn't rise to the occasion, that was all. I don't think I've ever tried so hard to be gay and made such a dismal mess of it. I get 10 points for trying. I did try.
Why did you try if you didn't feel like it, Blanche?
I was just obeying the law of nature.
Which law's that?
The one that says the lady must entertain the gentleman, or no dice. See if you can locate my door key in this purse. When I'm so tired, my fingers are all thumbs.
This it?
No, honey, that's the key to my trunk, which I must soon be packing.
You mean you are leaving here soon?
I've outstayed my welcome.
This it?
Eureka! Honey, you open the door while I take a last look at the sky. I'm looking for the Pleiades, the Seven Sisters, but these girls are not out tonight. Oh, yes, they are. There they are. God bless them, all in a bunch, going home from their little bridge party. You get the door open? Good boy. I guess you want to go now.
Can I, kiss you? Good night.
Why do you always ask me if you may?
I don't know whether you want me to or not.
Why should you be so doubtful?
That night when we parked by the lake and I kissed you...
Oh, honey, it wasn't the kiss I objected to. I liked the kiss very much. It was the other little familiarity that I felt obliged to discourage. I didn't resent it, not a bit in the world. In fact, I was somewhat flattered that you desired me. But, honey, you know as well as I do that a single girl, a girl alone in this world, has got to keep a firm hold on her emotions or she'll be lost.
Lost?
I Guess you're used to girls that like to be lost, the kind that gets lost immediately on the first date.
I like you to be exactly the way that you are because in all my experience, I've never known anyone like you. Are you laughing at me?
No, honey. The Lord and Lady of the house have not yet returned, so come in. We'll have a nightcap. Let's leave the lights off, shall we?
You just do what you want to.
The other room's more comfortable. Go on in. This crashing around in the dark is my search for some liquor.
You want a drink?
I want you to have a drink. You've been so anxious and solemn all evening, and so have I. We've both been anxious and solemn, and now for these last few remaining moments of our lives together, I want to create joie de vivre. I'm lighting a candle. We're going to be very bohemian. We're going to pretend that we are sitting in a little artist cafe in the left bank in Paris. Je suis la dame au camélia, vous êtes un môme. You understand French?
No.
Voulez-vous coucher avec moi ce soir? Vous ne comprenez pas? Ah, quel dommage. I mean, it's a damn good thing. I found some liquor, just enough for 2 shots, without any dividends, honey.
Okay, that's good.
Sit down. Why don't you take off your coat and loosen your collar?
I better leave it on.
Oh, I want you to be comfortable.
I'm ashamed of the way I perspire. My shirt is sticking to me.
Perspiration is healthy. If people didn't perspire, they would die in 5 minutes. Here, give me that coat.
They call that stuff alpaca.
Oh, alpaca.
It's very lightweight alpaca.
Oh, lightweight alpaca.
I don't like to wear a wash coat, even in summer, because I sweat through it.
Oh.
And I don't think it looks good on a man. I mean, a man with a heavy build has got to be careful what he puts on him so he don't look too clumsy.
Oh, you're not too heavy.
You don't think I am? Guess how much I weigh, Blanche?
Oh, I'd say in the vicinity of 180.
Guess again.
Not that much?
No, more.
Well, you're a tall man and you can carry a good deal of weight without looking awkward.
I weigh 207 pounds and I'm 6 feet, 1.5 inches tall, my bare feet, without shoes on. And that is what I weigh stripped.
Oh, my goodness me, that's awe-inspiring.
My weight is not a very interesting subject to talk about. What's yours?
My weight?
Yes.
Yes.
Let me lift you.
Samson, go on, lift me. Well?
You're as light as a feather.
You may release me now.
Huh?
I said unhand me, sir. Now, Mitch, just because Stanley and Stella aren't at home is no reason why you shouldn't behave like a gentleman.
You just give me a slap whenever I step out of bounds.
Oh, that won't be necessary. You're a natural gentleman, one of the very few that are left in the world. I don't want you to think that I'm severe and old maid, school teacherish or anything like that. It's just, well...
Huh?
It's just, I guess, that I have old-fashioned ideals.
Where's Stanley and Stella tonight?
They've gone out with Mr. and Mrs. Hubble upstairs.
Where did they go?
I think they were planning to go to a midnight preview at Lowe's State.
We should all go out together sometime.
No, that wouldn't be a good plan.
Why not?
You're an old friend of Stanley's. I guess he talks to you frankly?
Sure.
Has he talked to you about me?
No, not very much.
The way you say that, I suspect he has.
No, he hasn't.
But
Not
what
much.
he has said, what would you say his attitude toward me was?
Why do you want to ask that?
Well...
Don't you get along well with him?
What do you think?
I don't think he understands you.
That is putting it mildly. If it weren't for Stella about to have a baby, I wouldn't be able to endure things here.
He isn't nice to you?
He is insufferably rude, goes out of his way to offend me.
In what way, Blanche?
Why, in every conceivable way.
I'm surprised to hear that.
Are you?
Well, I don't see how anybody could be rude to you.
You probably wonder why I don't move out. Well, I'll tell you frankly. A teacher's salary is barely sufficient for her living expenses. I didn't save a penny last year, so I had to come here for the summer. That's why I have to put up with my sister's husband. And he has to put up with me, apparently so much against his wishes. Surely he must have told you how much he hates me.
I don't think he hates you.
He hates me. Well, why would he insult me? Of course, there's such a thing as the hostility of... Perhaps in some perverse kind of way, he... Now, to think of it makes me...
Blanche.
Yes, honey?
Can I ask you a question?
Yes, what?
How old are you?
Why do you want to know?
I talked to my mother about you, and she said, how old is Blanche? And I wasn't able to tell her.
You talked to your mother about
Yes,
me?
yes.
Why?
I told my mother how nice you were, and I liked you.
Were you sincere about that?
You know I was.
Why did your mother want to know my age?
Mother is sick, and she wants me to be settled down before she...
You love her very much, don't you?
Yes.
I think you have a great capacity for devotion. You'll be lonely when she passes on, won't you? I understand what that is.
To be lonely?
I loved someone too, and the person I loved, I lost.
Dead? A man?
He was a boy. Just a boy when I was a very young girl. When I was 16, I made the discovery. Love. All at once and much, much too completely. It was like you suddenly turned a blinding light on something that had always been half a shadow. That's how it struck the world for me. But I was unlucky, deluded. There was something different about the boy, a nervousness, a softness and tenderness which wasn't like a man's, although he wasn't the least bit effeminate looking. Still, that thing was there. He came to me for help. I didn't know that. I didn't find out anything till after our marriage, when we'd run away and come back, and all I knew was I'd failed him in some mysterious way and wasn't able to give the help he needed but couldn't speak of. He was in the quicksands and clutching at me, but I wasn't holding him out. I was slipping in with him. I didn't know that. I didn't know anything except I loved him unendurably. But without being able to help him or help myself. Then I found out, in the worst of all possible ways, by coming suddenly into a room that I thought was empty, which wasn't empty, but had 2 people in it. Afterwards, we pretended that nothing had been discovered. Yes, the 3 of us drove to Moon Lake Casino, very drunk and laughing all the way. We danced the Varsovyan, and suddenly in the middle of the dance, the boy I had married broke away from me and ran out of the casino. A few moments later, a shot. I ran out. All did. All ran and gathered about the terrible thing at the edge of the lake. I couldn't get near for the crowd, and then somebody caught my arm. Don't go any closer. Come back. You don't want to see. See? See what? Then I heard voices say, Alan, Alan, the gray boy. He'd stuck the revolver in his mouth and fired so that the back of his head was blown away. It was because on the dance floor, unable to stop myself, I'd suddenly said, I know. You disgust me. And then the searchlight which had been turned on the world was turned off again, and never for one moment since has there been any light that's stronger than this kitchen candle.
You need somebody. And I need somebody too. Could it be you and me, Blanche?
Sometimes there's God so quickly.
What's all this for?
Honey, it's Blanche's birthday.
She here?
In the bathroom.
Washing out some things?
I reckon so.
How long she been in there?
All afternoon.
Soaking in the hot tub.
Stanley, stop picking on Blanche.
That girl calls me common.
Lately, you have been doing all you can think of to rub her the wrong way, Stanley. And Blanche is sensitive. And you've got to realize that Blanche and I grew up under very different circumstances than you did.
Yeah, so I've been told and told and told and told. You know she's been feeding us a pack of lies here?
No, I don't.
Well, she has, however. But now the cat's out of the bag. I found out some things.
What things?
Things I already suspected. But now I got proof from the most reliable sources, which I have checked on.
Lower your voice.
Some canary bird, huh?
Now, please tell me quietly what you think you have found out about my sister.
Lie number one. Sister Blanche is no Lily. Some Lily she is.
What have you heard, and who from?
Our supply man down at the plant has been going through Laurel for years, and he knows all about her, and everybody else in the town of Laurel knows all about her. She is as famous in Laurel as if she was President of the United States, only she is not respected by any party. This supply man stops at a hotel called the Flamingo.
What about the Flamingo?
She stayed there, too.
My sister lived at Belle Reve.
Now, this is after the home lace had slipped through her lily-white fingers. She moved to the Flamingo, a second-class hotel which has the advantage of not interfering in the private social life of the personalities there. The Flamingo is used to all kinds of goings-on. But even the management of the Flamingo was impressed by Dame Blanche. In fact, they requested her to turn in her room key for permanently. This happened a couple weeks before she showed here.
What contemptible eyes.
Sure, I can see how you'd be upset by this. She pulled the wool over your eyes as much as Mitch's.
It's pure invention. There's not a word of truth in it. And if I were a man and this creature had dared to invent such things in my presence...
Honey, I told you I thoroughly checked on these stories. Now you wait till I finish. Did you know there was an army camp near Laurel, and your sister's was one of the places called Out of Bounds? Well, so much for her being such a refined and particular type of girl, which brings us to lie number 2.
I don't want to hear anymore.
She's not going back to teach school. In fact, I'm willing to bet you that she never had no idea of returning to Laurel. She didn't resign temporarily from high school because of her nerves. No, sirree, Bob, she didn't. They kicked her out of that high school before the spring term ended. And I hate to tell you the reason that step was taken. A 17-year-old boy she got mixed up with.
This is making me sick.
Well, the boy's dad learned about it and got in touch with the high school superintendent. Boy, I'd have liked to have been in that office when Dame Blanche was called on that carpet. They told her she better move on to some fresh territory. Yep. It was practically a town ordinance passed against her. Well, what do you think of?
I don't believe all those stories. And I think your supply man was mean and rotten to tell them. It's possible that some of the things he said are partly true. There are things about my sister I don't approve of. Things that cause sorrow at home. She was always flighty.
Flighty is some word.
But when she was young, very young, she had an experience that killed her illusions.
And what experience was that?
I mean, her marriage. When she was almost a child, she married a boy who wrote poetry. He was extremely good-looking. I think Blanche didn't just love him, but worshipped the ground he walked on, adored him, and thought him almost too fine to be human. But then she found out.
What?
This beautiful and talented young man was a degenerate. Didn't your supply man give you that information?
All we discussed was recent history. That must have been a pretty long time ago. How many candles are you putting in that cake?
I'll stop at 25.
Is company expected?
We asked Mitch to come over for cake and ice cream.
I wouldn't be expecting Mitch over tonight.
Why?
Mitch is a buddy of mine. We were in the same outfit together, 241st Engineers. We work in the same plant and now on the same bowling team. You think I could face
Stanley
him?
Kowalski, did you
Goddamn
repeat?
right, I told him. I'd have that on my conscience for the rest of my life if I knew all that stuff and let my best friend get caught.
Is Mitch through with her?
Wouldn't you be if...
I said, is Mitch through with her?
Wouldn't you be
I
if...
said, is Mitch through with her?
No, I don't think he's necessarily through with her. Just wised up.
Stanley, she thought Mitch was going to marry her. I was hoping so, too.
Well, he's not going to marry her. Maybe he was, but he's not going to jump in a tank with a school of sharks now. Oh, Blanche! Blanche! Can I please get in my bathroom?
Yes, indeed, sir. Can you wait 1 second while I drive?
Well, having waited 1 hour, I guess 1 second ought to pass in a hurry.
And she hasn't got a job. Well, what will she do?
Oh, she's not staying here after Tuesday. You know that, don't you? Just to make sure, I bought her a ticket myself. A bus ticket.
Well, in the first place, Blanche wouldn't go on a bus.
She'll go on a bus and like it.
No, she won't. No, she won't, Stanley.
She'll go, period. P.S. She'll go on Tuesday.
What'll she do? What on earth will she do?
Her future is mapped out for her.
What do you mean?
Say it's only a paper moon. Turning over a cardboard.
Hey, canary bird! Toots! Get out of the bathroom! Must I speak more plainly?
Oh, I feel so good after my long hot bath. I feel so good, cool, and rested.
Do you, Blanche?
Yes, I do. So refreshed. A hot bath and a long, cold drink always gives me a brand new outlook on life. Something's happened. What is it?
Oh, why, nothing has happened, Blanche.
You're lying. Something has. Stanley, tell us a joke. Tell us a funny story to make us all laugh. I don't know what's the matter. We're all so solemn. Is it because I've been stood up by my beau? It's the first time in my entire experience with men, and I've had a good deal of all sorts, that I've actually been stood up by anybody. I don't know how to take it. Tell us a funny little story, Stanley, something to help us out.
I don't think you'd like my stories, Blanche.
Well, I like them when they're amusing, but not indecent.
I don't know any refined enough for your taste.
Mr. Kowalski's too busy making a pig of himself, eating with his fingers, to think of anything else.
That's right, baby.
Your face and your fingers are disgustingly greasy. Go and wash up and help me clear the table.
That's how I'll clear the table. Don't you ever talk to me like that. Pig, Pollock, disgusting, vulgar, greasy. Them kind of words have been on your tongue and your sister's tongue too much around here. What do you think you are, a pair of queens? You remember what Huey Long said. Every man is a king, and I am the king around here. So don't forget it. My place is cleared. You want me to clear your places?
What happened while I was bathing? What did he tell you, Stella?
Nothing.
I think he told you something about Mitch and me. You know why Mitch didn't come, but you won't tell me.
No.
I'm going to call him.
I wouldn't call him, Blanche.
I am. I'm going to call him on the phone.
I wish you wouldn't.
I intend to be given some explanation from someone.
No. Oh, Blanche.
Hello? Mr. Mitchell, please. Oh. Well, I would like to leave a number, if I may. Magnolia 9047. And say it's important to call. Yes, very important. Thank you.
Stella, it's gonna be all right after she goes and after you've had the baby. It's gonna be all right again between you and me, the way that it was. You remember the way that it was? The nights we had together? God, honey. It's gonna be sweet when we can make noise in the night. The way that we used to. Get the colored lights going. Nobody's sister behind the curtains to hear us. Like Steve and Eunice.
I'll go back in. Light a candles. Blanche?
Yes? Oh, those pretty, pretty little candles. Oh, don't burn them, Stella.
I certainly will.
You ought to save them for baby's birthdays. Oh, I hope candles are gonna glow in his life. And I hope that his eyes are gonna be like candles. Like two blue candles lighted in a white cake.
What poetry.
His auntie knows candles aren't safe. The candles burn out in little boys' and girls' eyes, or wind blows them out, and after that happens, electric light bulbs go on and you see too plainly. I shouldn't have called him.
There's lots of things could have happened.
Oh, there's no excuse for it, Stella. I don't have to put up with insults. I won't be taken for granted.
God damn it, it's hot in here with the steam from the bathroom.
I've said I was sorry 3 times. I take hot baths for my nerves. Hydrotherapy, they call it. You healthy Polak without a nerve in your body. Of course you don't know what anxiety feels like.
I am not a Polak. People from Poland are Poles, not Polacks. But what I am is 100% American, born and raised in the greatest country on earth, and proud as hell of it. So don't ever call me a Polak.
That's for me, I'm sure.
Well, I'm not sure. Keep your seat. Hello? Hello, Mac?
Oh, keep your hands off me, Stella. What is the matter with you? Why do you look at me with that pitying look?
Quiet there. Oh, we got a noisy woman in the place. Go on, Mac. Riley's? No, I don't want to bowl at Riley's. No, we're going to bowl at the west side or the gala. All right, Mac? See ya. Sister Blanche, I've got a little birthday remembrance for you.
Oh, have you, Stanley? I wasn't expecting any. I don't know why Stella wants to observe my birthday. I'd much rather forget it. When you reach 27, well, age is a subject that you'd prefer to ignore.
27.
What is it? Is it for me?
Yes, I hope you like it.
Why, it's a...
Ticket. Back to Lowell. On the Greyhound. Tuesday. Well,
You didn't need to do that.
I don't forget all that.
You shouldn't have been so cruel to someone alone as she is.
Oh, the delicate piece she is.
She is. She was. You didn't know Blanche is a girl. Nobody was tender and trusting as she was, but people like you abused her and forced her to change. Do you think you're going bowling now?
Sure.
You are not going bowling. Why did you do this to her?
I done nothing to no one. Let go of my shirt.
I want
you
to know
torn
why.
it.
Tell me why.
When we first met, me and you thought I was common? How right you was, baby. I was common as dirt. You showed me the snapshot of that place with the columns. I pulled you down off them columns, and how you loved it. Having them colored lights going. And wasn't we happy together? Wasn't it all okay till she showed here? Wasn't it? Wasn't we happy together? Wasn't it all okay? Huh? Till she showed here, hoity-toity describing me as an ape? Hey. Stella, what is it?
Take me to the hospital.
Yeah, babe. Easy now. Easy now. Yeah, babe. Easy.
find mice. Help find mice. Help find mice and saw. Help find mice. Help find mice. Help find mice and saw. Who is it, please?
Hey, Mitch.
Mitch. Just a minute. Mitch. You know, I really shouldn't let you in after the treatment I received from you this evening, so utterly uncavalier. But hello, beautiful. My, what a cold shoulder, and a face like a thundercloud, and such uncouth apparel. Why, you haven't even shaved. The unforgivable insult to a lady, but I'll forgive you. I'll forgive you because it's such a relief to see you. You've stopped that poker tune I had caught in my head. Have you ever had anything caught in your head? Some words, a piece of music that goes relentlessly on in your head? No. Of course you haven't, you dumb angel puss. You'd never get anything awful caught in that head.
Do we have to have that fan on?
No.
I don't like fans.
Well, then let's turn it off, honey. I'm not partial to them. I don't know what there is to drink. I haven't investigated.
I don't want Stan's liquor.
Oh, it isn't Stan's. Everything here isn't Stan's. Some things on the premises are actually mine. How is your mother? Is your mother well?
Why?
Something's the matter tonight, but never mind. I won't cross-examine the witness. I'll just pretend I don't notice anything different about you. Oh, that music again.
What music?
The Varsuviana, the poker tune they were playing when Alan... Wait. Oh, there, now the shot. It always stops after that. Yes, now it's stopped.
Are you boxed out of your mind?
I'll go and see what I can find in the way of... By the way, excuse me for not being properly dressed, but I'd practically given you up. Had you forgotten your invitation to supper?
I wasn't going to see you anymore.
Wait a minute, I can't hear what you're saying. You talk so little that when you do say something, I don't want to miss a single syllable of it. What am I looking for around here? Oh, yes, liquor. We've had so much excitement around here this evening that I am boxed out of my mind. Well, here's something. Southern Comfort. What could that be, I wonder?
I told you already I don't want none of his liquor, and I mean it. You ought to lay off his liquor. He says you've been lapping it up all summer like a wildcat.
What a fantastic statement. Fantastic of him to say it, fantastic of you to repeat it. I won't descend to the level of such cheap accusations to answer them even.
Huh?
What's in your mind? I see something in your eyes.
It's dark in here.
I like it dark. The dark is comforting to me.
I don't think I've ever seen you in the light. That's a fact.
Well, is it?
I never seen you in the afternoon.
Whose fault is that?
You never want to go out in the afternoon.
Well, Mitch, you're at the plant in the afternoon.
Not Sunday afternoons. I ask you to go out with me sometimes on Sundays, but you always make an excuse. You never want to go out till after 6, and then it's always some place that's not lighted much.
There's some obscure meaning in this, but I failed to catch it.
What it means is that I never had a real good look at you, Blanche.
What are you leading up to?
Let's turn the light on here.
Light? Which light? What for?
The one with a paper thing on it.
What did you do that for?
So I can take a look at you good and plain.
Of course, you don't really mean to be insulting.
No, just realistic.
I don't want realism.
No, I guess not.
I'll tell you what I want. Magic. Yes. Yes, magic. I try to give that to people. I misrepresent things to them. I don't tell the truth. I tell what ought to be truth. And if that is sinful, then let me be damned for it. Don't turn the light on. Oh.
Yeah. I don't mind you being older than I thought, but all the rest of it, God. That pitch about your ideas being so old-fashioned and all that malarkey, you dished out all summer. Oh, I knew you weren't 16 anymore, but I was fool enough to believe you were straight.
Who told you I wasn't straight? My loving brother-in-law, and you believed him?
Yeah, I called him a liar at first, and then I checked on the story. First, I asked our supply man who travels through Laura, and then I talked directly over long distance to the merchant.
Who is the merchant?
Kefaba.
The merchant Kefaba of Laurel? I know the man. He whistled at me. I put him in his place, so now for revenge he makes up stories about me.
3 people, Kefaba, Stanley, and Shaw, swore to them.
Rub-a-dub-dub, 3 men in a tub, in such a filthy tub.
Didn't you stay at a hotel called the Flamingo?
Flamingo? No. Tarantula was the name of it. I stayed at a hotel called the Tarantula Arms.
Tarantula?
Yes, a big spider. That's where I brought my victims. Yes, I had many intimacies with strangers. After the death of Alan, intimacies with strangers was all I seemed able to fill my empty heart with. I think it was just panic that drove me from one to another, hunting for some protection here and there, in the most unlikely places, even at last in a 17-year-old boy. But somebody wrote the superintendent about it. This woman is morally unfit for her position. This woman is morally unfit for her position. True. Well, yes, I suppose unfit somehow. Anyway, so I came here. There was nowhere else I could go. I was played out. You know what played out is? My youth was suddenly gone up the waterspout, and I met you. You said you needed somebody. Well, I needed somebody too. I thank God for you because you seemed to be gentle, cleft in the rock of the world that I could hide in. The poor man's paradise is a little piece. But I guess I was asking, hoping too much. Kefaba, Stanley, and Shaw tied an old tin can to the tail of a kite.
You lied to me, Blanche.
Don't say I lied to you.
Lies, inside and out, all lies.
Never inside. I never lied in my heart. What? Oh, somebody outside. I lived in a house where dying old women remembered their dead men.
Flores para los muertos.
Crumble and fade and regrets, recriminations. If you'd done this, it wouldn't have cost me that.
Carrones para los muertos, carrones.
Legacies. And other things such as blood-stained pillow slips. Her linen needs changing. Yes, Mother, but couldn't we get a colored girl to do it? No, of course we couldn't. Everything gone but the death. I used to sit here, and she used to sit over there, and death was as close as you are. We didn't dare even admit we'd ever heard of it. The opposite is desire. So do you wonder? How could you possibly wonder? Not far from Belle Reve, before we'd lost Belle Reve, was a camp where they trained young soldiers. On Saturday nights, they would go in town to get drunk. And on the way back, they would stagger onto my lawn and call, "Blanche! Blanche!" The deaf old lady remaining suspected nothing, but sometimes I slipped outside to answer their calls. Later, the paddy wagon would gather them up like daisies the long way home.
Blanche.
What do you want?
What I've been missing all summer.
Then marry me, Mitch.
I don't think I want to marry you anymore.
No?
You're not clean enough to bring in the house with my mother.
Go away then. Get out of here quick before I start screaming fire. Get out of here quick before I start screaming fire. My beautiful rhinestone tiara. Now, how about taking a swim? A moonlight swim at the old rock quarry. If anyone's sober enough to drive a car. Best way in the world to stop your head buzzing. Only you've got to be careful to dive where the deep pool is. If you hit a rock, you don't come up till tomorrow. So I look... How is my sister?
She's doing okay. Baby won't come before morning, so they told me to go home and get a little shut-eye.
Does that mean we are to be alone in here?
Yep. Just me and you, Blanche. Unless you got somebody hid under the bed. What have you got those fine feathers on for?
Are you referring to my satin evening gown? Well, you left before my wire came.
You got a wire?
I received a telegram from an old admirer of mine.
Anything good?
I think so. An invitation from an old beau of mine.
The one that gave you the white fox pieces?
Mr. Shep Huntley. I wore his ATO pin my last year at college. I hadn't seen him again until last Christmas. I ran into him on Biscayne Boulevard. Then, just now, this wire invited me on a cruise of the Caribbean. The problem is clothes. I tore into my trunk to see what I have that's suitable for the tropics.
And came up with that gorgeous diamond tiara.
This old relic? Oh, it's only rhinestones.
Gosh, I thought it was Tiffany diamonds.
Well, anyhow, I shall be entertained in style.
Mm-hmm. Goes to show you never know what is coming.
Just when I thought my luck had begun to fail me.
Into the picture pops a Miami millionaire.
This man is not from Miami. This man is from Dallas.
Oh, this man is from Dallas.
Yes, this man is from Dallas, where gold spouts out of the ground.
Well, just so he's from somewhere.
Close the curtains before you undress any further.
Well, this is all I'm gonna undress right now. You seen a bottle opener? I used to have a cousin who could open a beer bottle with his teeth. That was his only accomplishment, all he could do. He was just a human bottle opener. And then one time, at a wedding party, he broke his front teeth off. After that, he was so ashamed of himself, he used to sneak out of the house when company came over. Woo-hoo-hoo! Rain from heaven. Here, shall we bury the hatchet and make it a loving cup, huh?
No, thank you.
Oh, well, it's a red letter night for the both of us. You having an oil millionaire and me having a baby.
What are you doing in there?
Here's something I always break out on special occasions like this. The silk pajamas I wore on my wedding night.
Oh.
Yeah. When the telephone rings and they say you got a son, I'll tear this off and wave it like a flag. I guess we are both entitled to put on the dog.
When I think of how fine it is going to be to have such a thing as privacy once more, I could weep with joy.
And this millionaire from Dallas is not going to interfere with your privacy any?
It won't be the sort of thing you have in mind. This man is a gentleman, and he respects me. What he wants is my companionship. Having great wealth sometimes makes people lonely.
I wouldn't know about that.
A cultivated woman, a woman of intelligence and breeding, can enrich a man's life immeasurably. I have those things to offer, and this doesn't take them away. Physical beauty is passing, a transitory possession, but beauty of the mind and richness of the spirit and tenderness of the heart, and I have all of those things, aren't taken away, but grow, increase with the years. How strange that I should be called a destitute woman when I have all of these treasures locked in my heart. I think of myself as a very, very rich woman, but I've been foolish. Casting my pearls before swine.
Swine, huh?
Yes, swine. Swine. And I'm thinking not only of you, but of your friend, Mr. Mitchell. He came to see me tonight. He dared to come in here in his work clothes and to repeat slander to me, vicious stories that he'd gotten from you. I gave him his walking papers.
Yeah, you did, huh?
But then he came back. He returned with a box of roses to beg my forgiveness. He implored my forgiveness, but some things are not forgivable. Deliberate cruelty is not forgivable. It is the one unforgivable thing in my opinion, and it is the one thing of which I have never never been guilty. And so I told him, I said to him, thank you. But it was foolish of me to think that we could ever adapt ourselves to each other. Our ways of life are too different. Our attitudes and our backgrounds are incompatible. We have to be realistic about such things. So farewell, my friend, and let there be no hard feelings.
Was this before or after the telegram came from the Texas oil millionaire?
What telegram? No, after. As a matter of fact, the wire came just as...
As a matter of fact, there wasn't no wire at all.
Oh.
There wasn't no millionaire, and Mitch didn't come back with roses, because I know where he is. There isn't a goddamn thing but imagination and lies and conceit and tricks. And look at yourself. Take a look at yourself in that worn-out Mardi Gras outfit, rented for 50 cents from some rag picker, and with the crazy crown on. What queen do you think you are?
God.
I've been on to you from the start. Not once did you pull any wool over this boy's eyes. You come in here and sprinkle the place with powder and spray perfume and cover the light bulb with a paper lantern, and lo and behold, the place has turned into Egypt, and you are the queen of the Nile, sitting on your throne, swilling down more liquor. I say, ha, ha. You hear me? Ha, ha, ha.
Operator, give me long distance, please. I want to get in touch with Mr. Shep Huntley of Dallas. He's so well known he doesn't require any address. Just ask anybody who... Wait! No, I couldn't find it right now. Please understand. No, wait. One moment. Someone is... Nothing. Hold on, please. Operator, get Western Union. Western Union. It's Western Union. Yes, I want to take down this message. In desperate circumstances, help me. Caught in a trap. Oh.
You left the phone off the hook.
Let me get by you.
Get by me? Sure. Go ahead.
You stand over there.
You got plenty of room to walk by me now.
Not with you there, but I've got to get out of here somehow.
You think I'll interfere with you? I come to think of it, maybe you wouldn't be bad to interfere with.
Stay back. Don't you come towards me another step, Ralph.
What?
Some awful thing will happen. It will.
Oh, what are you putting on now?
I warn you, don't. I'm in danger.
What'd you do that for?
So I could twist the broken end in your face.
Oh, I bet you would do that.
I would. I will if you...
Oh, so you want a rough house. All right. Let's have some rough house. I tell you, gotta drop the bottle, Tom. Drop it. We've had this date with each other from the beginning. Drew turned inside straight and made it, by God.
Maldita sea tu suerte.
Put it in English, greaseball.
I'm cursing your goddamn luck.
You know what luck is? Luck is believing you're lucky. Take it, Salerno. I believed I was lucky. I figured that 4 out of 5 would not come through, but I would, and I did. I put that down as a rule. To hold front position in this rat race, you've got to believe you are lucky.
You, brag, bull.
What's the matter with him?
I always did say that men are callous things with no feelings, but this does beat anything, making pigs of yourself.
Well, what's the matter with her?
How is my baby?
Sleeping like a little angel. Brought you some grapes.
Blanche.
Bathing.
How is she?
She wouldn't eat anything but ask for a drink.
What'd you tell her?
I just told her that we'd made arrangements for her to rest at the country, and she's got it mixed up in her mind with Chef Huntley. And...
Stella?
Yes, Blanche?
If anyone calls while I'm bathing, take the number and tell them I'll call right back.
Yes. I don't know if I did the right thing.
What else could you do?
I couldn't believe her story and go on living with Stanley.
Don't ever believe it. Life has got to go on. No matter what happens, you got to keep on going.
Is the coast clear?
Yes, Blanche. Tell her how well she's looking.
Please close the curtains before I come out.
Yeah,
I don't want...
They're closed.
How many for you? 2, 3.
I've just washed my hair.
Did you?
I'm not sure I got the soap out.
Such fine hair.
Oh, it's a problem. Didn't I get a call?
Who from, Blanche?
Chef Huntley.
Oh, why not yet, honey?
How strange.
Hey, Mitch, come to.
Stanley. What's going on here? What's happened here? I want an explanation of what's happened.
Please, Blanche.
Why are you looking at me like that? Is something wrong with me?
You look wonderful, Blanche. Don't she look wonderful?
Yes.
I understand you're going on a trip.
Yes, Blanche. Yes, she's going on a vacation.
I'm green with envy.
Help me. Help me get dressed.
What a pretty blue jacket.
It's lilac colored.
You're both mistaken. It's Della Robbia blue. The blue of the robe in the old Madonna pictures. Are those grapes washed?
Huh?
Washed, I said. Are they washed?
They're from a French market.
That doesn't mean they've been washed. Those cathedral bells. They're the only clean thing in the quarter. Well, I'm going now. I'm ready to go.
She's going to walk out before they get
Wait, Blanche. I don't want to pass in front of those men.
Then wait till the poker game breaks
Sit down
up.
and...
I can smell the sea air. The rest of my time I'm going to spend on the sea. And when I die, I'm going to die on the sea. You know what I shall die of? I shall die of eating an unwashed grape one day out in the ocean. And I'll be buried at sea, sewn up in a clean white sack and dropped overboard at noon in the blaze of summer and into an ocean as blue as my first lover's eyes.
That must be them.
What is it?
Excuse me while I see who's at the door.
Yes. I wonder if it's for me.
Someone is calling for Blanche.
It is for me, then. Is it the gentleman I was expecting from Dallas?
I think it is Blanche.
I'm not quite ready.
Ask him to wait outside. Everything packed?
My silver toilet articles are still out.
They're waiting in front of the house.
They? Who's they?
There's a lady with them.
I cannot imagine who this lady could be. How is she dressed?
Just sort of plain tailored outfit.
Possibly she's...
Shall we go, Blanche?
Must we go through that room?
I will go with you.
How do I look?
Lovely.
Lovely.
Please don't get up. I'm only passing through. You're not the gentleman I was expecting.
How do you do?
That man isn't Shep Huntley.
Did you forget something?
Yes. Yes, I forgot something.
Doc, you better go in.
Nurse, bring her out.
Yes, Doctor.
Oh, no, sweetheart.
Hello, Blanche. Hello, Blanche.
She says that she forgot something.
That's all right.
What did you forget, Blanche?
It don't matter. We can pick it up later.
Sure, we can send it along with the trunk.
I don't know you. I don't know you. I want to be left alone, please.
Now, Blanche. Oh, you left nothing here but split talcum and old empty perfume bottles. Unless it's the paper lantern you want to take with you. You want to take the lantern? Oh, hey, doctor! Doctor, you better come in here.
Too bad all his likes were void.
This is a very bad thing. This is not the right to do it. Do it. She should have been told.
You done this. All of your goddamn interfering with things.
You quit the blubber. I'll kill you. I'll hold this boneheaded crop baby.
Come, Mitch. Yes, stop it. Take it easy.
Let me go.
These fingernails have to be cut. Jacket, doctor.
Not unless necessary. Miss DuBois? It won't be necessary.
Ask her to let go of me.
Let go.
Whoever you are, I have always depended on the kindness of strangers.
Blanche.
Blanche? Blanche? What have I done to my sister? My God, what have I done to my sister?
You done the right thing, the only thing you could do. She couldn't stay here. There wasn't no other place for her to go. Here, honey, take your baby.
Now, honey. Now, love. Oh, now, love. Yeah. Let me touch you. Yeah. Oh, now, love. Now, love.
This game, he's 7 cards stud. Glenn Headley played Blanche, Vincent D'Onofrio, Stanley, Amy Brenneman, Stella, and David Selby, Mitch, in A Streetcar Named Desire by Tennessee Williams. Eunice was Rondi Reed, Steve Frederick Coffin, Pablo Armando Molina, the matron and Negro woman Livingston Holmes, and the doctor Jamie Hames. The music was composed by John Roby. The musicians were John Roby, Steve McDade, and Jack Zaza. The production assistants were Lizzie Hart and Tilo Ponder. The American producer was Susan Albert Lowenberg, the Canadian producer John McCarthy, and the director Martin Jenkins.
And that was a co-production between the BBC, the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation, and Los Angeles Theatre Works. And it was recorded in the studios of KCRW, Santa Monica.